In this video, we're going to go over how to set up our first campaign inside of VideoProfiteer. Before you can begin setting up your campaign, you need to first make sure that you've integrated your PayPal account, as well as created at least one test purchase. If you haven't done that yet, please make sure to pause this video and refer to the video tutorial on how to integrate your PayPal account and create that first test purchase, because you're going to need that information in order to continue with the campaign setup. If you've already properly integrated your PayPal account and you've done a couple of test purchases, or at least one, then you're ready to move on with setting up your first campaign. So we'll come over here to Campaigns, and I'm going to click on Add New Campaign. And here's the information we're going to need in order to get this campaign started. The first thing we're going to need is a campaign name. The second thing we're going to need is the product string, and this is why it's so important to make sure that you have already integrated your PayPal account as well as completed that test purchase, because this information will be found here under Transactions. So we'll go ahead and click on Transactions, and as you can see, I have several test purchases here. So I'll just go with the last one I did, which is Video Tutorials 1, and I'll go ahead and copy that and come back to my campaigns and go ahead and actually get started on creating that campaign. So we'll need a campaign name. Now we can paste in that product string, but I'm actually going to need to make sure that I don't have any spaces before it. It actually needs to be exactly as it appears in the transactions list. Now we need to go ahead and pick our transaction type. I happen to know that this particular product string came from a JVZoo purchase, so I'm going to go ahead and select JVZoo. However, if your product name or product string came from a PayPal purchase or a Warrior Plus purchase, you're going to want to make sure that you select that from the menu. You're also going to be able to set your cookie here, and basically what this means is your customer will have to re-verify their purchase in however many days you set here. So it's set to 1 by default, which means your customer will have to enter their email and verify their purchase every day they want to watch the video. If you only want them to verify once, then you could put a really long number in here, like 1,000, so that way they only have to verify their purchase once every 1,000 days. So I'm going to go ahead and just set that to 5, which basically means that they have to re-verify their purchase once every 5 days. And then I'm going to come down here and click the Save button. Please make sure that you click the Save button prior to generating your protected key and embed code. And the reason for that is because if you haven't saved this information, generating the key will erase all of this information and you'll just have to enter it again. So I always like to come down here and click on Save. Now, the one other thing that I want to show you under transaction type is the custom. As you can see, we already have PayPal, JVZoo, and Warrior Plus set up for you, but there is also a custom option. Custom just means you're using another platform other than PayPal directly, JVZoo, or Warrior Plus. Whenever you choose custom, you're going to have to come up with a custom transaction right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you what that means. Because I've done a couple of different test purchases, I'll have a couple of different options on what to put here. So if I come back to transactions, you'll see I have a transaction type in this column here. Most of these are cart, and that's because they were made via PayPal directly or via JVZoo. So those will almost always come up as cart. But as you can see, I do have another one that was made on another platform outside of JVZoo, which has a transaction type of Web Accept. So you're always going to want to make sure that you do that test transaction on whichever platform you're using to accept payments so that you can get the transaction type, especially if it's something other than JVZoo, Warrior Plus, or PayPal directly. So in this case, it's Web Accept. So if I wanted to use custom, and I wanted to use this as the payment option that my customers are going to use, then Under my campaigns, I could come in here and edit the campaign I was just working on. Choose Custom as the transaction type, and make sure that I paste that, again, exactly the way it appears under my transactions, without any spaces before or after. Once you have it set up exactly the way you want it set, then you can generate your protected key and embed code. Or if you prefer, you can go through some of the other steps you have here, which is adding your video, connecting your autoresponder, the verification page, and if you have a pro account, you'll have alerts and test users as well. So you can go through all of these options here and then generate your protected key, or you can generate it after you've hit the save button down here. In the next video, we'll go over how to add your videos to VideoProfiteer, and in that video, I'll also cover how to connect Amazon S3 and what exactly that means.